Do you ever feel drained whenever you have to spend time out with certain people? Or maybe you've even experienced several co-workers leaving you drained for days. On the other hand, do you feel indescribable joy in spending hours on end immersed in a book? Or maybe you even find that the best Friday nights are better spent inside, cozying on a warm sofa and watching a movie. If you resonate with the last two, then there's a strong chance that you're actually a loner. Still not sure about it? Here are 7 signs that confirm you are one. For starters, you're a very private person. Heck, you're even more hush-hush than an incognito tab. Okay, so maybe being incognito on Chrome is not that private, but you get the gist. You're practically low-key. I mean, if it's possible to go lower than hell, then I guess you would have started borrowing even further. Being a loner, you don't see nor feel the need to share every success or problem with others, save for a few friends or even very close family members. You don't like being in the limelight. We get it, that this main character energy has been going the rounds lately, but between you and me, I know for a fact that you'd gladly be a tree in a stage play, or maybe even the props man. Anything at all, just so you won't have to be the center of people's attention. This would have been the ideal scenario in a loner's utopia, but alas, there are times when we're forced to take center stage. And do you know what loners usually do? Be casual and nonchalant about it, even redirecting attention to another person or a topic. The next one's pretty obvious. If you enjoy doing things by yourself, whether it be work or relaxation, then there is a strong chance that you are a loner. Do you enjoy doing things alone? Watching movies, eating out, or maybe exploring a new city? If you do, then you're definitely a loner. Without the company of others, you're free to do as you like. Sure, some things are better done together, but it always comes with a hassle, so I wouldn't be surprised if you end up arguing with others. You may want to spend the afternoon leisurely watching people, but your friend wants you to explore this popular tourist spot. What's worse is that they may even guilt-trip you, so you'll end up being a bit annoyed or even harbor a bit of ill will towards them. Ah, the benefits of being by yourself. No expectations, even at work. I know being partnered with someone can be troubling, especially if the other person's not pulling their own weight. Just remember, if work gets a little too much for you, maybe it's time to take it to the streets. Hell, even strippers earn a ton by themselves, you know. But that means you have to socialize with people. So, yeah, OnlyFans it is then. Still in denial? Well, how about this? You don't like going to social events. And on the off chance that you're forced to go, you make it a point to see if you know someone you're comfortable with from the guest list. If there's actually a really plausible way to not attend social gatherings at all, except for the pain of death, then I would gladly do so, rather than drain my social battery for niceties. I don't even know more than half the people at the events I attend. But when the invitation is already there and the RSVPs have already been sent, the next sensible thing to do is to find out if any of your close friends are attending. Because, like they say, shared misery is halved misery. You can always trust that a loner has at least 2 or 3 low-maintenance friends that will keep them company. Plus, don't all good things come in threes? There's Harry, Ron, and Hermione. See how these 3 stuck together throughout the whole Harry Potter ordeal, in both big and small events. I know, this is pretty much a loner thing, but being surrounded by lots of people is just as suffocating as it is draining. So at the very least, maybe I'll be in it for a good hour or 2 before I dip. Just look at Bruce Wayne. He's barely a few minutes into The Dark Knight Rises before he wobbles away from the gala and finds out that Selena Kyle took his ride. Oops. And in case you didn't know, Christian Bale only accepted the role of Batman if there was no Robin involved. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? He's one of us. By this, I'm sure you're going to relate on a spiritual level. You absolutely cannot not have your earphones with you. In this day and age, earphones are no longer an accessory. They are a necessity. Gone are the days when you could leave the house with just your wallet, keys, and phone. Finding out you left your earphones at home, that's a real-life horror story. It's actually pretty amazing how one can keep people at bay by repulsing them with this magical, mechanical contraption of a device. The thing about wearing earphones is that you don't even have to play music to keep people away from you. When people see you wearing them, they take it as a sign that you're not into conversing with anyone. Unless, of course, Some people just can't take a hint and would tap your shoulder for a small chat. When the time comes, just hit them with a book. But since that's illegal and is considered grounds for assault, I suggest keeping a tight-lipped smile and walking away as discreetly as possible before they even notice you. Here's another one from our checklist that may insinuate you're in a loner. You don't like drama, and you do your best to stay away from it. If there's anything that social media did worse in this day and age, it's that everybody is at everybody's business. I mean, sure, if there's certainty about someone I know, then I'd gladly listen to it for a while, but as for getting involved, count me the heck out. Some people start drama, while some others are the actual drama themselves, and as for loners, well, they're away from the drama. This just goes hand in hand with the first one on our list. Loners like to keep things under wraps, so unless we are buddy-buddy with each other, I pretty much don't know and don't care about what goes on in your life. Especially with family drama. Count me out on that one. I don't want to hear someone suddenly making a list of dishonors in Mushu's voice about me, my family, or my cow. By now, if you haven't checked the aforementioned factors in the list, maybe you will. You prefer working by yourself and bemoan working with others. As I've mentioned earlier, it's kind of troubling when you're assigned to work with someone who can't pull their own weight. And on the small chance that they let you work with someone, it's not like you'd instantly click on the go, especially if you're a loner. Embarrassing as it is to say this, loners have their own meticulous ways of doing things. Similar to the likes of Jeff Dahmer, you know? And I don't mean by the way they're unaliving kids. I mean by them doing their own thing freely, with creative freedom, if I do say so myself. But now that you mentioned it, a lot of serial killers are actually the loner type, no? Maybe this is a sign that you need to go out and socialize more. Anyway, back to the topic. This is one of the reasons why working as a freelancer is the ideal job for loners. No bosses, no workmates, no need for face-to-face meetings. All of these things can be done in the comfort of their own homes, especially now that different working conditions have been introduced since the pandemic broke out then. And the best part of this is that you don't have to work the traditional 9-to-5 job. You can even work from anywhere and everywhere. Just a word of caution, take this with a grain of salt, because not every freelancing job is as free as this. And lastly, the final determining factor that you're a loner is this. Do you relate to Shrek? No, I'm not saying that you're an ogre, but are you the happiest and the most peaceful when you're by yourself, in the comforts of your own territory? Do you remember how the movie Shrek started? This antisocial ogre was happily spending his days minding his own business in his swamp when Lord Farquaad decided to dump all the fairy creatures on his territory one fine day. Now, imagine if that were to happen to you. Wouldn't you be grumpy as heck as well? Personally speaking, I too would march straight into Lord Farquaad's kingdom and shove all those fairy folk up his butt for dumping them on my property. I mean, come on, man, it's my haven. The very place where I can just be as comfortable as I am. The thing about being by yourself is that there's no pressure to act a certain way or to impress others. Miss me with that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde bullcrap. That's not for me. If you're like me who values independence and has a lot of quirky habits that others may find strange, seeking the solace of home or even the bedroom is enough. Did the list confirm that you're actually a loner? Don't feel so bummed about it because we're actually the same. If you enjoyed checking out every one of the items listed in today's video, then you might want to check out our other one. This time we're talking about 7 signs you're being emotionally mature, which you can access here.